We are now looking at our next race, starting to line up in the stake boats there. Our women's under 17 8. That is the Referee Cup. We have another 8-lane race, 8 boats across. In lane 1, Marin. Lane 2, Oakland Strokes. Lane 3, Newport AC. Lane 4, SDRC. Lane 5, Wesley. Lane 6, Capital. Lane 7, Pacific. Lane 8, Cathedral Catholic.
And you see last year's top three crews, Marin, Oakland, and Newport, in that same configuration this year. Close up, we've got our cameras there on the screen. That is Wesley University, a crew that has come all the way over from Australia to join our programs here. We've got crews from Canada, from Mexico, from obviously all across the United States, and now Australia. Joining us at the Crew Classic. So, really a special trip here for this Wesley University women's under 17 8. And here we go.
Our boats are off and moving, settling themselves into this race. Fairly even across the board right now, with some boats moving a few seats ahead, but nothing outstanding at this moment in time. Currently looking very even from these early strokes. So we're going to let these boats get settled. We're going to let the early fight happen, and then we'll tune in as they start to separate themselves out.
And with this under 17 8, we're going to find a lot of levels of athletes, some different ages here. So they don't have to be 17, they can be below 17, they could be 14. 15, 16. And so, could be some novices in their first year rowing and could be some very experienced athletes out there. All right, and we are looking at a great overhead shot here, and we pretty much are finding the boats in lane order. So it does look like Marin has that lead by about a boat length right now over Oakland, and then Newport in the third place position, and then pretty close here between San Diego, Wesley, and Capital. I'm going to give that advantage for fourth place to Wesley. Wesley looking like they have about a 2-seat advantage over both San Diego Rowing Club and Capital, but Capital definitely on the move. A little bit off the back there by about a length or so of open water. It's going to be Pacific, and then finishing will be our 8th place crew, Cathedral Catholic High School. Cathedral Catholic, a private school from right here in San Diego. All right, and if you're looking at these overhead shots, you're going to see some different configurations of the oars. So it's not just port and starboard side back to back, but sometimes you'll see two blades and two athletes sitting right next to each other that are rowing on the same side. Sometimes they'll configure the boats like that just to balance out the power in crews, or sometimes to put two athletes together that seem to work particularly well. Helps the boat to run a little bit straighter on its own. And Marin showing that right here with that bucket rig in their under 17 8. It's pointed out that the under 16 8 from Marin did win the national championship. So likely we have a lot of those athletes that are coming up maybe to fill out this under 17 8. Back behind them now by about a half a length or more of open water, it's going to continue to be Oakland. Oakland, a program that traditionally will field quite a number of boats. So, a very large program, sometimes over 200 athletes in that Oakland Stroke Boathouse on any given afternoon. So, looking really strong here in that second place position in this under 17-8. Newport continuing in the third place position. And then let's see if we can get a little bit better shot here between San Diego, Wesley, and Capital for that fourth, fifth, or sixth place position.
Usually, right about this area, we get to go up to our drone cameras, which give us some really nice, clear perspectives on the race. And there we go. As we see these boats steaming down the course, lots of contact still this late in the race. And we know that we're going to see some great racing here. So make sure you make your way down to the sand because these boats are going to start passing that tent row pretty soon. Almost a flying V of boats going right now down the course.
Yeah, so a lot of movement there on the outside lanes. It does look like Marin is going to continue to hold on to that top spot. They're there right against the shoreline. They're continuing to hold off Oakland. But then as we come into a little bit better picture, it is going to be pretty tight here between Capital and Newport. I'm going to give that advantage to Newport for the third place spot. And then San Diego pushing themselves into fourth. Wesley continuing to hold on to fifth. And it does look like Capital is in the sixth place position. Continuing in seventh is going to be Pacific with Cathedral Catholic in eighth.
There goes Marin across that 500-meter mark first, followed by Oakland Strokes. Next to them, Newport AC and SDRC. We have our 1, 2, 3, and 4 lanes setting out 1, 2, 3, and 4 positions. Continuing on to 5, looks like Wesley right behind SDRC, then NorCal Crew behind Wesley. And that means Capital is behind NorCal Crew. So all boats currently in their lane assignments and in that order in the race.
Really good showing here by Wesley from Australia as they are right here in the mix, right down the center of the course. They've got those beautiful purple unisuits, so quite easy to see. I believe they are rowing with Oakland Strokes blades. Not too sure about that, but a great showing there for Wesley as they come over to the States to race against some of the best in the nation. And speaking out some of the best in the nation, it is Marin that is just continuing to dominate this race from start to finish. So right now, not really looking challenged at all. That Marin boat looks behind them to Oakland as their closest competitor, but by quite a bit of open water between themselves and Oakland, that Marin boat can feel pretty comfortable that they are going to cross the line with their bow first.
And here come these boats down towards the finish line. We, as the commentators, are seated right at the finish line. So we have a bird's eye view of exactly how these boats finish. Looks like we're going to have Marin crossing that line first with open water on Oakland Strokes. You'll hear that horn in a moment. There they go. That's Marin across the line in 1. Oakland Strokes in 2. Followed by Newport AC. Then San Diego Rowing Club, Wesley, Capital, Pacific, and Cathedral Catholic.